story, When the Sky Turned Red. War has a cruel way of stealing the colors from the world, but I will never forget the day when the sky turned red. It was 1945, during the final days of World War II. Our platoon had been ordered to protect a village on the border between Germany and Poland. It was a peaceful place, surrounded by hills and blooming fields. But on that day, peace was the last thing we expected. We had been there for 3 days. The silence was unsettling. Then, at dawn, the sound of engines broke the air. An enemy squadron of planes was approaching, and with them destruction. The sky, which had just begun to glow with the colors of sunrise, quickly changed. Explosions turned the blue into red. The heat from the flames was so intense we could feel the air vibrate around us. I remember running to the shelters with the villagers. There were children crying, mothers trying to calm them, and men desperate to protect their families. But the truth is, no one is ever truly prepared for something like that. My commander, Captain Miller, tried to organize a counterattack. He was a strict but fair man. He always said, protect the innocent, even if it costs your life. And that day he lived by those words. With few resources, just a handful of weapons, and a lot of courage, we tried to hold back the enemy's advance. Miller led the charge, but he never returned. He was hit while covering our retreat. When we finally managed to evacuate the village, I looked back and saw the destruction. The sky was still red, but now it carried the weight of everything we had lost. After the war, I returned to that village. The place had been rebuilt, but the memory of that day never faded. The sky, which had once turned red, became a symbol of sacrifice, courage, and the fragility of peace. And even now, decades later, when I see the sky painted red at sunset, I remember that day. A day that changed lives. A day that reminded us of the true cost of war. Se precisar de ajustes ou mais adaptações, é só avisar.